Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to a new video on my channel English Class Espo. Today I will share with you 5 tips you need to practice to avoid blockage while having a conversation in English. So stay with me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please like, subscribe and share with your friends for more videos coming soon, inshallah. Speaking in English fluently requires a good amount of practice. That means more conversations with people. That could be a little bit awkward if you don't know all the words. Of course, nobody knows all the words. But sometimes while having a conversation and you don't know a certain word, you get this awkward silence where you stop talking and then the whole situation becomes stressful to you and to the person you're talking to, because you cannot express yourself and then the information that you're trying to give the next person is not transmitted correctly. And that awkwardness plays a big role in lowering your confidence while speaking in English. So let's start. Having a conversation comes in 3 parts. The first part is before having the conversation. The second part is during the conversation. And the third part is after the conversation. So let's see what you need to do before having a conversation. My tip to you is try creating situations for yourself while you're at your own comfort zone, which means you're at home, you're in your car, you're by yourself in a certain place. Try to create situations for yourself. It's like acting that you are in a certain situation, like you're having your own TV show, or you are conducting an interview, or you're meeting a celebrity. So imagine, make it exciting, and imagine what they will be asking you and what you will answer back to that question, or imagine the questions that you need to ask them, and then of course imagine what they will answer back. That will give you a sense of what you can say during a certain conversation or during a certain situation, and that will give you time to go look up the words that you don't know. Go look up the sentences that you need to use. Of course, if you need suggestions of things that you can say during the situations, you can let me know in the comments and I will be glad to help. The next part is during a conversation. Try to be more of a listener than of a speaker. Try to listen more to what people say and try to understand what they have to tell you first. You will then know what they're talking about, what is the subject, what is the tense they're using. Are they talking about something in the past, or they're talking about something in the present, or they're talking about something that's coming in the future? Then when you want to answer back, you know how to answer back, how to formulate correct sentences in your head before speaking. So try to listen more. That way also you will learn new words from what people say to you, and then you can even use those words when it's your turn to talk. You can use the same words that you just heard, but then formulate your own opinion around these words. The next tip would be using words from your own language or from another language that you know. So within a conversation, while you're talking to someone, you might forget a word or two, or even not know a word or two. You can refer back to the word in your own language. And then in that way, it shows that you know what you're talking about, first. Second, you don't stop at that word, you continue with the conversation. The third thing is you'll be impressed what people know. They might already know the word in your own language because they might have been in your country, they might have a friend from your country, so they might know already the word. And then if they don't know the word, you give them the opportunity to learn a new word in a different language that they don't know. So they might ask you back, can you say it again? And then you say it again and they will say it back to you for you to correct the pronunciation. So don't be ashamed of your own language. Don't be ashamed of using words from your own language. Also, if you use some words like that from your own language, you can add a description. So you use the word and you add a description to it. It's like you say, السيارة, السيارة, the thing that we drive. And then the person will say, oh, you mean the car? You say, yes, the car, thank you. So that way you give the word and you also describe. You describe with language or with body language. Like, you don't be afraid of using your hands and you're acting the thing that you fix your hair with. They will say, oh, do you mean the brush? Yes, the brush, thank you. Because what you want is expressing yourself correctly to the person for them to understand what you mean. And that's the whole meaning of this whole conversation. You can also use some regular words that Americans use usually, like the thing or thingy or stuff like that. So, for example, if you say, the teacher showed us how to print some items on the thing. So automatically the person that's talking to you, they will know, where do you print things? So, the 3D printer. Yes, 3D printer. Thank you. Now you learned a new thing. So the machine that prints items is called a 3D printer. Or you can say the guy that fixes the kitchen sink. The plumber. Yes, the plumber. Thank you. So the guy that fixes, he's the plumber. I bought a new thingy to my phone, so if it falls, it doesn't break. Oh, a phone cover. Yes, the phone cover. So that way, you give a description for the person to understand what you're talking about. And there is no shame in that. You just want to get the information through to them. Don't be afraid of asking a question. Like, if you didn't understand what the person said, you can ask, I didn't quite understand. Can you please repeat what you just said? So asking politely for them to repeat what they said is really helping you understand what they meant. And that way, it will give you time to listen again to what they just said. And then your mind will start picking words and formulating an idea of what they said. Can you please repeat what you just said? I didn't quite understand. Or, can you please repeat that word? I want to learn how to pronounce it. There is no shame in that. You can ask the person to repronounce the word slowly or even spell it for you. Can you spell that word for me? They will spell a word or two for you to help you know the word, how it's pronounced or how it's spelled, so you can use it next time in your own conversations. If you're having a conversation with someone, it's okay to ask these questions. They know that you are learning the language and they know that you want them to understand you and they know that you want to understand them. So most likely they will be glad to help. But if the person is talking about something that you don't quite understand, what you can do to avoid this awkwardness is redirecting the conversation to something else that you can talk about. And to do that, you can use by the way. So imagine if someone is talking about something like some rocket science, something that you don't know anything about. And then you listen to them, and you listen and you listen, and you don't quite understand, or you don't really enjoy the subject. You can say, by the way, did you see what happened yesterday? And the conversation will shift to what you want to talk about. So, by the way, because by the way stops the conversation and then redirects it to something that you want to talk about, to something that you know how to talk about. Then we come to the last part, which is after a conversation. So after a conversation, go back and look up the words that you struggled with. Try to look up the ideas that you wanted to transfer to that person and you struggled with. So try to go back and to rethink what you were saying and find out ways of how to say it better than what you did. Try to look up words that relate to that subject. Do some research about that subject. Try to remember words that the person said, and then try to look up the spelling and the exact pronunciation so you can use them next time in future conversations. Always try to go back to what you spoke about and try to revisit your thoughts. Try to reformulate sentences, better sentences. Maybe find words that you might have used so you can use them in the future. Try to find out spellings of words that the other person used, and then the correct pronunciation, how they are pronounced, for you to use next time in future conversations with other people. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share with your friends for more videos coming soon, inshallah. And if you need any suggestions with any situations or anything, please let me know in the comments. I will be glad to help. Thank you. في أمان الله.